Boa noite a todos. Meu nome é Paula, faço parte do coletivo de Belo Horizonte. É uma alegria estarmos juntos para mais uma meditação coletiva. Nós podemos começar tomando a postura de meditação. Vamos começar a interiorizar a nossa atenção. Mantenha as duas mãos no colo, com a palma para cima, coluna ereta, sem forçar. Vamos apenas observar a nossa respiração. Vamos deixar de lado todas as preocupações, pensamentos. O que importa é este momento, o momento presente. Atenção na respiração, no ar que entra e sai dos pulmões. Vamos inspirar profundamente e devagar por 3 vezes. Inspira, segura o ar por alguns instantes e solta suavemente até esvaziar todo o pulmão. Vamos fazer por 3 vezes. Podemos agora, juntos, elevar a Kundalini e dar os bandhas de proteção. Agora, nós vamos levar a atenção até a água do banho de pés. Podemos direcionar a nossa mão direita e juntos vamos entoar o mantra Shri Samudra Devata. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Samudra Devata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Vamos dar 7 bandhas, girando a nossa mão no sentido horário. E podemos colocar os pés. Nossa atenção vai para o Muladhara Chakra, na base da coluna. Podemos direcionar nossa mão direita para a Mãe Terra, mão esquerda no colo com a palma para cima. Atenção no Muladhara. Mãe, por favor, faz de nós inocentes. Dai-nos a sabedoria. Por favor, dai-nos a humildade e a pura alegria de Shri Ganesha. Um mantra a Shri Ganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Atenção agora no canal esquerdo, podemos continuar com a mão direita voltada para a Mãe Terra. Mãe, por favor, equilibra as nossas emoções e purifica os nossos desejos. Por favor, remove todo e qualquer problema do nosso canal esquerdo e dai-nos todas as tuas qualidades. Atenção na palma da mão esquerda. Vamos agora levar a nossa mão direita ao colo e vamos dobrar o nosso braço esquerdo, palma da mão para trás e dedos para o alto. Atenção no canal direito. Mãe, por favor, refresca, limpa, purifica e ilumina o nosso canal direito. Remove, por favor, todo o excesso de pensamentos, toda agressividade, toda tendência a dominar os outros. Por favor, Mãe, dai-nos a ação correta, pensamentos equilibrados e iluminados. Atenção na palma da mão direita. Podemos retornar com a nossa mão esquerda para o colo. Agora a nossa atenção vai para o canal central, o canal da evolução, do presente. Podemos manter a atenção nas duas palmas das mãos. Mãe, por favor, ilumina o nosso canal central. Desperta em nós, Mãe, todas as qualidades do canal central. Agora a nossa atenção vai para o nosso nabis esquerdo, Então, abaixo da última costela, do lado esquerdo do abdômen, podemos levar a nossa mão direita e vamos pedir: Mãe, por tua graça, nós temos paz e tranquilidade. Mãe, por tua graça, nós somos pessoas satisfeitas e generosas. Vamos juntos entoar o mantra Shri Gruha Lakshmi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Gruha Lakshmi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Agora nossa atenção vai para o nosso nabe direito. Podemos retornar com a nossa mão direita para o colo e agora a mão esquerda vai para o nosso nabe direito, abaixo aqui da última costela, do lado direito do abdômen, mais ou menos aqui na altura do umbigo. Mãe, por favor, permaneça em nossa atenção. Mãe, em verdade, a Senhora é a dignidade real em nós. A Senhora é aquela que elimina todas as nossas preocupações e aquela que cuida do nosso bem-estar. Mantra Shri Raja Lakshmi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Raja Lakshmi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Vamos retornar com a nossa mão esquerda para o colo e a mão direita agora vai para o nabe central, aqui na altura do umbigo, no centro do abdômen. Mãe, por favor, torna-nos pessoas satisfeitas. Mãe, por favor, torna-nos pessoas satisfeitas. Mãe, por favor, dá-nos a satisfação. Mantra Shri Lakshmi Vishnu. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Lakshmi Vishnu Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. podemos retornar a nossa mão ao colo. Vamos nos manter em silêncio por alguns instantes. Tente observar as vibrações nas palmas das mãos. Se sentir algum bloqueio, apenas entregue, afirmando: Mãe, eu entrego. Nós podemos agora encerrar o banho de pés, podemos enxaguá-los, vamos dispensar a água e em seguida vamos retornar para continuar nossa meditação. Vamos retornando. A nossa atenção agora vai para o Sahasrara Chakra no topo da nossa cabeça. Com a mão direita podemos fazer uma massagem girando no sentido horário. Mãe, por favor, estabiliza a nossa realização do Si. Por favor, Mãe, dai-nos o estado de consciência sem pensamentos. Podemos retornar nossa mão ao colo e agora, mantendo a atenção no topo da cabeça, nós vamos assistir à palestra de Tirimataji.
Nature wants that you are there to produce the fruit that is your children. That's why you are men and women. That's the basics. Now, if you think that with that responsibility, if you can do something else, you should do. But the main thing is that, and if you don't do that, is to look after your children, to give them joy, have a beautiful nest for them, then I must say that you are neglecting your basic duty and your attention on something else. That's why so many divorces are taking place and problems are there. Then women ask for their rights, they go beyond their limits, they became dominating here, the men become dominating. That's not the way we are going to solve. We have to know that we are two wheels of one chariot. One on the left, another in the right. Now they are not similar. They are not similar. There are two types, one left side, one on the right side. But they are equal. Whatever they do, it's equal. They are to be respected equally in the same manner. And it is always so. For example, I had a girl who came to me and she was a private secretary. And she told me, Mother, you say this, but I have seen that all these men come and flirt with their private secretaries. So I said, all right, maybe so. But what does that matter? You see, that shows that something wrong with the man. He doesn't understand. He's off his head. He cannot enjoy his wife and he's running after other things. It's like having something in your house and you're looking at other things, you see. Like in India, if you go to somebody comes to your house, be careful about your things. But in England, I tell them, if somebody comes to your house, be careful about your wife. See, it's just a little difference between, but the second one is a dangerous thing because fundamental. The wife is the fundamental thing because you do not know what she will do, how she will react, and you do not know how the guest, because that is regarded as their freedom. But if you take away something from somebody's house, that's not freedom, because we can take away anything from somebody's house. Why should anybody arrest us? Because there is a free will for you to do what you like, is allowed to do what you like, but in that free will you are harming so many people and ultimately your society. Now these two wheels, as I said, are very important to God. Because so many great people want to take birth on this earth. So many great souls want to take birth on this earth. And if we behave in such a manner that all the time this chariot is this way going up or that way going up, I can tell you no child would be willing to be born in this place who are great people. Only the people who are of the worst type will be born. There will be hooligans, there will be horrible people with a horrid nature, and they'll spoil the whole atmosphere of the countries where husband and wife do not have good relationship. The children will be such hooligans and such horrible things that will be surprised that at the age of 8 years and 5 years they'll be committing murders and doing all kinds of such things that you'll be shocked. Now between you and me, because you are also husbands and wife, and one thing it should be there, that we should not quarrel before our children. We should have all decency of husband and wife. There are so many things we do not do in the presence of our children. In the same way, we need not sit down and quarrel and say, I hate you and I hate you. I tell you, this is something you have to change a little bit in our language. In India, if somebody says, I hate you, it's regarded, that man regarded as the most unmannerly person. I mean, it's very bad manners to say, I hate you. How? I mean, it shows that you are a very low type of a person to say like that. But I hate you, so what? If you hate, so what? You are not God. If you hate me, what does it matter? Actually, if somebody hates someone, so what? That shows that person is not a good person, just to hate someone. I hate you is a way of expressing something that is, I feel, is very wrong for the family system. It shocks children. Children look upon you as ideals. When they are born, you should see them. Most of the children nowadays in Australia are born realized. I see that around when I went to the airport, and I see they are born realized. And they watch, and they're surprised, and they sulk, and they feel very sad. They don't take sides. They don't like the father to fight the mother to fight. And one other thing which you must understand, that a certain gradation has to be there. A woman is the strongest point of the household, like this Mother Earth is. She takes all the problems upon herself. Because she is the strongest. Who else can withstand this kind of weight on her? It's the mother. In the same way, a woman in the house is the mother, and she has to bear up. You see, it's nice to have a husband who comes home and says whatever he likes and takes out all the filth on you, than to have a husband who is very sweet, hello, hello, and outside he goes like a bumptious tiger on everyone. Such a man you see, they are like children, I would say. They are like children. They have to take out their tensions on their wives only. And you should be an absorber of that. And that's the sign of a woman. A strong woman doesn't get easily disturbed by these things. She's not bothered. She says, all right, you little baby, come along. Now I have had 4 babies, now this is the 5th one, which is the smallest has come. Let him shout and scream. Even with the children, you have to be patient. They'll hit you, they'll do anything. I would say that way in India, children are treated very kindly, and there are special things. They will do what they like when they are children. But when they grow up, we do not have teenage problem. We do not have problem when the children don't respect. This is a very important aspect of our modern life that we have to understand. What is the relationship of husband and wife is? Husband is like, say, a gentleman who is definitely is to be respected by the wife. But if she does not respect the husband, she cannot get respect for her children. But the husband has to be a respectable man. That's very important. If the man is not respectable, he cannot be respected easily. But the more is the woman has to be very respectable. If she doesn't give her respect, you can handle any kind of man if you are clever enough. Drunkards, all sorts, they come down. Because after all, they are human beings. They are not bad people. But because of mishandling, they just get out. And the domination of men is just a myth. See, they cannot dominate. They are incapable of domination. They just do it because they want to feel that they are superior. That's all. But they cannot dominate. Whatever the domination, what is their domination? It's little things here and there. Just like children. That's what it is. If women understand their maturity and their responsibility as women, because they are the Shakti, they are the power of the family, and they are the potent Shakti for the husband as well as for the children. But if they get disturbed, then the husband is disturbed and children are also disturbed. But they are potent. While the kinetics are these people, like here is the electricity, all right. So we say very good lamp and electricity and all that. But from where does it come? The source is somewhere quietly sending the source and enjoying itself by giving that source. In the same way, this is a very important center. Why I said it? Because today I went to Melbourne, and all the time this finger was burning up to this point. So that means there's something wrong with men and women as far as their family life is concerned. They are all very upset, I felt. The husband is upset and the women. Maybe the laws may be against men, maybe here, I don't know, but in America I found a husband and wife relationship is very queer. For example, I met a lady who was very queer people there. I went and stayed with a lady. She had a luxurious house with a swimming pool and this, and a maid coming to do everything up, and 5 stories and this. And she said, you see, one of my former husband will come and see you in Los Angeles. I said, all right, very good idea. So he came, he was like a pauper, walking like this. And he says, I have got a room on rent where I am staying, mother. It's very difficult, I have to share it with someone. I said, what? That lady who was there, she has a very big house, she's supposed to be a wife. He said, that's mine. I tell you, I lost it to her in a case. I said, how could you lose that in a case? Because she asked for a divorce, and because she found guilty out of me, so she got it. And she married 3 husbands. All the 3 husbands are moving like paupers, and this lady is very rich. If you marry 7 husbands are finished forever, but the lady is so rich 7 times more than any one of them. So this is kind of a law I don't understand. First of all, why there should be a law I don't understand between husband and wife. I just don't understand. I mean, we don't have such laws in India, but everybody cares for the wife because she is the nearest and the dearest person they have. Who else to depend? If the woman is dedicated and devoted to husband, do you think he'll run after any other woman? He has to come back to her. He'll be so fed up with these women who just live for money or anything, that he has to come back. So you see, one has to take a very wise decision, because you must understand you are born at a juncture, whether on which you will be destroyed completely or you will be saved completely. It's a very important thing. You have to save humanity. You are born at a time when you have to save humanity. It's not only Kundalini awakening that will help, because you might be saved, but you have to save the whole society, the whole family, the whole, I should say the whole universe or the whole creation will have no meaning if you people are destroyed. Now this is one of the way of destruction, by destroying the family. The children become mad, the husband becomes mad, they all end up in orphanages. That's what I've seen. They are mostly in orphanages in their old age. There's nobody to bother about. So it's a question of giving and giving and giving. Now this Graha Lakshmi's center is on the left hand side, and the another is Raja Lakshmi center is on the right hand side. Now this center gives us the power to rule over people, and we become very, in extremes you see, we can become very arrogant and we can become very, very sort of authoritative, and we might sort of end up with a funeral with 10,000 people behind us, all bought from market and put there behind you without any feelings. That's all, finished. With such a man finished, they say, oh thank God he died, he was a horrible terror for us. So that kind of a life can come with Raja Lakshmi, but in the center is the Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the goddess, is the power within us by which we balance, lead a very balanced life, by which we are satisfied. Now they have made a beautiful picture of this Lakshmi. Also one should understand this power is a lady, is a mother, and she stands on a lotus. Now these are all symbols which suggest that these symbols are carved out with such deep significance. She stands on a lotus. Means imagine who can stand on a lotus. And she is a very healthy woman, and she stands on a lotus. It means that she is never putting pressure on anyone. A rich man comes in, he must honk his car loudly because he's rich, so he thinks he must honk it higher. And a rich man must go in a big limousine or some sort of a thing to show off that he's very rich. If he comes to any program or they must sit in front, he should have the front seat, and he makes him known everywhere. Everybody must feel the weight of the rich man. He can run away with 10 wives of somebody, and he can have a big boat for himself, and he can get any number of women there, and he can spoil any families he likes because he's rich. This kind of thing comes in people, but Lakshmi, the one who stands on the lotus, in the beauty and the glory of the riches that God has given that person. Then it has got 2 red pink flowers in the hand that are lotus flowers again. Now the lotus is regarded as a very holy flower in India, because it is so receptive to everything that is crude and funny. First of all, it is born in the mud. Just think of it. In the mud, in the filth, where the horrible smell is coming out, the lotus is born. And the one lotus gives the fragrance, the beautiful fragrance to the whole atmosphere, and kills all that filth and everything, and covers the whole pond with its big, big leaves, so that it looks a beautiful pond. That's what is the lotus for. But this lotus is a pink lotus, means pink, is the sign of love. Pink is the sign of love. So such a person has to have tremendous love and that softness of the lotus. Now the inside of the lotus is very soft and nice. And I don't know what you call that, the black bee, a very big one, which has got horrible, the black bee is like that, which has got angular legs and things like that. Horrible, you cannot touch it. That one can find its place in the lotus. When it goes to the lotus opens its petals and takes it inside and makes it sleep on the corona that it has, very soft one on the bed, and covers it nicely and gives it a nice, swinging feeling that it feels it is in the lap of the mother and it sleeps off. Even such an animal, it gives a place to live.
Podemos fechar os olhos e nos manter em estado meditativo. Atenção no Sahasrara ou nas palmas das mãos. Se um pensamento vier, apenas deixe-o passar sem se apegar a ele. Vamos agora ouvir os 3 grandes mantras do Sahasrara Chakra.
Tvameva sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namo Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namah Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrar Swamini Moksha Pradayani Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namah
Estamos nos aproximando do final da meditação de hoje. Vamos juntos elevar a Kundalini e dar os bandos de proteção. Ao final, podemos fazer um namastê. Muito obrigada a todos pela companhia na meditação de hoje. Tenham uma ótima noite e até amanhã na meditação matinal. Namastê. Jai Shri Mataji.
कृपा आम्हावर झाली.
लक्ष्मी
लक्ष्मी आली तिची कृपा आम्हावर झाली.
लक्ष्मी आली तिची कृपा आम्हावर झाली.
लक्ष्मी आली आली तिची कृपा आम्हावर झाली. रत्न खचित तो मुकुट शिरावरी.
रत्नखचित तो मुकुट शिरावरी.
करणी कुंडले तळपती भारी.
कुंडली तळपती भारी.
नयन शोभती ते कमला परी. नयन शोभती ते कमला परी. कुमकुम भाळी तिची कृपा आम्हावर झाली.
लक्ष्मी